Hi, thank you so much for clicking this video. I want to thank you for choosing to spend time with me. Our topic today is understanding a clash within your chart and how to interpret them. But before we start, if this is the first time for you to visit my channel, please click subscribe or notification bell to get you notified in my next video. Okay, I was not able to create a video last week, primarily because of weeks before and during that week I was quite busy. And the extra time is something that I use to actually rest and rejuvenate and spend time with my family. So thank you so much for your patience. And here is my new video, and I hope you learned something from this video today. Okay, so our topic again, once again, is clashes and how do you interpret that and how to. This basically gives you an oversight, and not oversight, a foresight of what can happen in the event if you go through a clash. So knowing ahead of time is one way for you to prepare and to at least give you this to help you change your perspective in the event you feel the certain energy or vibration when there is a clash. Okay, so just to give you a brief discussion of what is a clash, hold on, I'll give you a screen share. Okay, there you go. All right, so before we even dive in explaining the different clashes, what is first a clash? Okay, a clash, this in traditional sense, this actually means uh, ch- uh, an uncomfortable change. Okay, so basically there are things that's going to happen, be it in your year, or changes rather, that's going to happen, that can happen in, be it in your year, your month, your day and hour. Okay, but for the sake of our video today, I'll be giving you example based on your day pillar. So if you don't know your BaZi chart or haven't plotted your BaZi chart, please click the link below. It's going to lead you to the BaZi calculator. And again, if you're going to look for your day master, you simply look at the day pillar, and that's basically where you find your day master. Okay, so the heavenly stems, by the way. Okay. All right. So basically, the in traditional sense, when we talk about classes, this actually means that these are opposite energy of different animals, wherein they're considered as mortal enemies. Okay. So a different opposite. Basically, it's opposite that meets and which causes changes or uncomfortable change in either your relationship in the household, your relationship with your colleague, or even your career or your friends or relatives. Okay, so the clash doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually a bad thing. Okay, sometimes that the clash is something, it's a step to something better, although it can be uncomfortable at first, but then eventually you'll realize it's actually a good thing that there was a clash. Case in point is, say, for instance, you're relocating or you're building your new home. Of course, during the relocation of your home, it can be really uncomfortable at first, and you are quite excited or you look forward, or it's something that you dread. Okay, relocating can be really stressful because there's a lot of things that you have to factor in. But of course, when you're done relocating, you'll realize that your new home has a better, it's a better place, or and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's an example of uncomfortable change. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It's just that there's a transition that can happen in any part of your natal chart. Okay, so there you go. Basically, just to understand uncomfortable change. So if ever there's any clash that you go through, don't think of it as something that's bad. It's just that it's the transition that you have to go through as you face your new cycle. Okay, this can happen in a year, in a month, or in your luck pillar. Okay, so an example of the first clash that you can be aware of. You please check your chart if you have either the rat and the horse. So if you ever you encounter the rat year or the horse year, the effect could be that you can feel a little bit moodiness or stubbornness. Okay, by the way, just to reiterate, the discussion that we're going to have is in comparison to your day master. Okay, so the say for instance, we're going through a luck an annual. Okay, annual rat or the year of the rat or year of the horse, and then you have a rat in your chart. In the event that you face this annual lock, this actually can mean, based on your day master, they can become a little bit restless or a little bit more moody when it comes to that year. So when this happens, though, my advice is not to let the emotion get the best of you. And whenever you're feeling something that's difficult or something that is so uncontrollable, it would be advisable to avoid making decisions during this time when you're feeling this way to avoid regrets in the end. Okay, like I always say, it doesn't mean that you're well when you're feeling something, it doesn't mean it's always right. Okay, the feelings and emotion is not always right. You always have to practice logical thinking whenever you make decisions, especially if you are emotional during that decision making. Okay, so next is the the next animal class I'm going to discuss is the ox and the goat. All right, so when we go through the ox and the goat, say for instance you have a goat day master or you have a ox day master and you're going through a goat luck or annual year, okay, year of the goat. The effect could be is you can be a little bit stubborn. It's hard for you to actually give in to other wishes or people's advice. And but the good thing about this is sometimes being stubborn, not sometimes, yeah. Well, actually, most of the time, being stubborn is not really a bad thing. This can actually mean that you are dedicated to stand firm according to your belief or your goals and so on. Provided that the goals or your dreams is something that's going to be beneficial for you, to the people around you and your family members without hurting anybody in the process. Okay, so that's an example of effect of ox and goat clash. And then next is the tiger and the monkey. This one, this can actually vary. Okay, sometimes I don't know for definitely next year we won't have any of this animal. But if you're going through a monkey and tiger, this can be that you'll be more independent, or you will encounter a lot of travels, or you will be quite a distant from your home. Okay, so those are examples of a tiger and monkey clash. This is in reference to your day master. Um, so yeah, your day master, and but I'd like to add this point, but of course this doesn't mean that it's always going to happen, because there are a lot of factors that we have to consider when we go through a tiger and monkey clash. There are a lot of things that we have to look at in your natal chart before we jump into conclusion. But another effect of a tiger and monkey clash is accident prone. But of course, uh, I don't want to cause panic. It's just a general definition. But if we want to know further, we have to actually understand the entire natal chart before we jump into conclusion. Just because go through a tiger year or a monkey year, you're going to be accident prone. Okay, so there. Okay. All right. Next is the rabbit and rooster. This one is there are a lot of issues when it comes to relationships. So this is there are going to be some clashes and arguments, or this can refer, since we're talking about the day master, this can be in reference to your spouse, your best friend, or people that are close to you. Okay, so if you're going through a rabbit and rooster clash, make sure that before you say anything, or um, before you say anything to anybody, make sure that you think very carefully and make sure that you don't say them out of burst, or because of the feelings that you were feeling then, just to avoid aggravating or magnifying this issue that, or this relationship issue that you may have with your partner, your best friend, or people that are close to you. All right, next is the dragon and dog. All right, so this one is you may be a little bit more. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. Okay, so the dragon and the dog clash is there's going to be some short-tempered. Basically, you might feel a little more short-tempered or really impatient. So when you're going through this, be very mindful of your actions, just so you won't give cause offense to anybody around you, and make sure that when you're trying to be impatient or what you call this, or short tempered, or if there's any goal that you want to achieve, make sure it's realistic, because when you're trying to create a goal that's not realistic, on top of that you're being impatient, then you're actually bringing yourself or causing yourself to at a major disappointment. So make sure that when you're becoming impatient, it's something that's realistic and achievable. Okay, so that's my advice if you're going through a dragon and a dog clash. Okay, and last but not the least is the snake and pig. This feeling that you may be able to say certain things um, that would definitely cause offense, which can bring out petty arguments with people that you're close with, probably your spouse or the people that you're close with. So this during this time, it's best that you be very picky of the words that you say to avoid offending anybody. At the end of the day, the ones that we care for and makes us happy are the ones that we who are our spouse or the people that we're close with or the people that we trust. Now, ruining or offending them, it's something that you would definitely regret in the end. So make sure that everything that you have to say, if everything that you need to enunciate is something that is not offending, or think about them very carefully, especially if you're going through a snake and pig clash. If you don't want to create more issues or argument with your spouse, be very conscious with the words that you say, just to avoid petty arguments between you and your spouse and your or your loved one. All right. So those are the examples of the clashes, and there are a lot of also the actually going through a clash can also indicate some illness issues. But if you want to learn more, I'm actually opening my foresight or module 3 training for the BaZi analysis. And if you're interested, do visit my website, sorry, sofiarelosa.com. Again, my website is www.sofiarelosa.com. And if you do want to learn more for free, I actually have a Facebook group. You can actually just join without any cost, and all the information that I share there every week is free. This is Sofia Relosa's BaZi and Feng Shui, and Sofia Relosa's BaZi, Feng Shui, and Team Mandunya Facebook group. Please join, and so you get to also have monthly activation tips that you can do on a monthly basis. Okay, sir, there you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something today. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.